DeMeco Ryans speaks on the alleged quarterback competition, and then the Texans drop a depth charts before an off day and joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. Let's get into it in the locker room.
Yeah, it's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room.
Welcome to the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app. Number one source for Texans daily digital content right here. Number one source for Texans radio content on the Odyssey app and Sports Radio 610. Hope you enjoyed our interview with Juice Scruggs straight off the practice field. Gonna have players straight off the practice field, hopefully, at both of these Miami Dolphins joint practices. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, appreciate you for coming through. Please like the video when you leave here. Be sure to like, subscribe, download all that. Good place, the only place to get the true pulse of what's going on with the Houston Texans. So DeMeco Ryans, at his media availability, he was asked about the state of the quarterback competition. Ron the Show Hughley actually asked him the question. Now, anyone who's been at practice all the time knows first team reps have gone to CJ Stroud. And any talk about a quarterback competition, it's kind of a moot point unless this is the weirdest coaching staff of all time. If the Texans all of a sudden started giving Davis Mills first team reps after giving CJ Stroud 100%, that would be weirder than anything David Culley did. He did some weird things, putting some weird spots in his defense. Or Lovie Smith or Bill O'Brien. And Bill O'Brien was BFFs with the POS Jack Easterby, person of service, one of the biggest slime balls ever. I say all that to say I just don't think this is the weirdest coaching staff the Texans have ever had. As a matter of fact, they resemble a coaching staff that knows what the hell they're doing. So it just doesn't seem to be a quarterback competition. Let's hear, though, what DeMeco Ryans had to say after practice today about this competition and the plans for the preseason game. He says Sunday, he means Saturday. Show kind of confused him by saying something.
As of right now, Sunday, we haven't discussed the reps. As of yet, we're still just getting through practice. We'll discuss the rep count and how we'll go about that game after we go through the two practices with Miami. So we'll have an answer after that.
All right, so there you go. He said, we'll talk about this whenever the time actually comes. Now, here is the thing for me. How do you hear that? Some people wanted to hear that and say, well, it's wide open now. It could be Davis Mills. I heard it as, okay, we're going to figure out how much we want to play CJ Stroud in the preseason game based on the reps he gets, because CJ Stroud is your first team quarterback. So shortly after that, a couple hours after that, the Texans released a depth chart. And let's react to the depth chart. Let's give our depth chart takes here. And as expected, this is not the weirdest coaching staff of all time, because right there at the tippity top of your depth chart, first team quarterback is CJ Stroud. Second team is Davis Mills. Third team is Case Keenum. So no surprises there. CJ Stroud is your first team quarterback. It's just a matter of how long he plays on Saturday, but no maybe Davis Mills, nothing. CJ Stroud is your first team quarterback. So unless you're Antonio Cromartie and you're just throwing stuff out there, or unless you're just not paying attention to where the reps are going, CJ Stroud is the first team quarterback. You can go ahead and announce that. You can do with that what you want. CJ Stroud is your first team quarterback. Running back appears to be set as well. Dameon Pierce, Devin Singletary, Mike Boone. Those are your top three running backs. That is set. Fourth running back, could Dare make it? Maybe. He plays special teams. Xavier Valladay actually cleared waivers, so nobody else wanted him after the Texans released him. Andrew Beck is your fullback. He's going to be on the roster as well. He also might be your third best tight end. Wide receiver, They're probably going to have 3 on the field in a lot of situations, but you have Robert Woods, Nico, Noah Brown, Tank Dell. Wouldn't read too much into that. Tank Dell is going to play a lot of snaps, but he's getting a lot of second team work along with first team work. And then John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, they have the upper hand. I don't anticipate Jalen only can't making the team. Jared Wayne might sneak through to the practice squad. And I look for Humphreys and Bachman to be big-time preseason heroes, but they are not going to make the squad. Steven Sims going to get a lot of opportunity as well. Your tight ends, Dalton Schultz and Mason Schreck. I do find that interesting. The 3 tight ends, Tegan Quitoriano right now listed 3rd. Tegan's been immediately getting second-team reps, but that 3rd tight end spot, Brevin Jordan, he's been hurt. Can't make the club from the tub, especially when they got those questions about you. Could Schreck be your 3rd tight end? Maybe so, but Dalton Schultz and Quitoriano are on the squad for sure. Left tackle, Laramie Tunsil, no surprise there. George Fant's listed as your backup left tackle. He's probably going to be your starting right tackle whenever that time comes. Kenyon Green is your left guard. Juice Scruggs, probably your starting center. They made him available to the media, actually let us talk to him. They're not going to give backups to the media, especially rookies, so they seem to have trust in Juice Scruggs, and Shaq Mason is your right guard. D-end, Will Anderson, Jacob Martin. Jacob Martin appears to be safe. He's got a little bit of juice, plays some special teams. He's good. Malik Collins and Hassan Ridgeway, they're both going to be on the team. And then you have Rankins, Lopez, and Heinisch. I could see, we were talking about this. Now, Lopez and Heinisch were going to have to show something to make this team. I could see a situation where they keep 5. And you have Collins, Ridgeway, Rankins, Lopez, and Heinisch all on the squad. Booker, I would be shocked if Booker made this team. Just hasn't done anything, hasn't stuck out, and he's spent a lot of time on the sidelines. Will linebacker, Christian Harris. Your Mike is Denzel Perriman. Blake Cashman is your Sam. And then you have Henry To'o, Corey Littleton, and the rest of the guys. Wallow, I think, is on the outside looking in, as is Hewitt. Kirko, I don't know what they're going to do with Kirko. DeMeco Ryans did say he could come back in 2 weeks. Problem is, you say $4.5, $5 million, whatever the hell it is with him. He seems to be on the outside looking in. God bless him for everything he's done the last couple of years. I just don't necessarily see that happening. Your nickels have been rotating, and that's a really good nickel situation right there. It's underrated how good the nickel situation is. Desmond King, Tavier Thomas, these are really good guys. Desmond King can play all over the place. Desmond King and Tavier Thomas, that is an excellent nickel situation, so you're set there. Cornerback, Steven Nelson Stingley, fantastic. Shaq Griffin, he's done his thing. Cornerback 4 is going to be pretty interesting, or quarterback 6, I should say, if they decide to keep one. I don't know what they do. I could see them bringing someone in, but that's just going to be Hallman's been sneaky okay. Francis has been all right. These guys, like the way in which these DBs have played has been honorable, and quite frankly, it's just a really deep corner room now. A lot of these guys, I look at it kind of the same way as I do some of these wide receivers on the back end. Like on a Texans team last year or the year before, we'd be talking about Hallman, maybe Francis, and some of these other guys as maybe guys that would have a real legit chance to make the team. It's just the corner depth has improved, as well as the wide receiver depth. Maybe not top in depth, but the depth to where it's harder to make the squad. Jimmy Ward, he's going to be a safety. Jalen Petry's going to be a safety. Eric Murray, I think, is safe too. As in the reserve role, Eric Murray's good. I know it's kind of a name that's polarizing because of how much B.O.B. and the POS, Jack Easterby, overvalued him, but he's a really good reserve safety. He plays with a pretty underrated edge, and he also has been pretty good on run defense. Like, he seems to always be around on run defense. I know in preseason game 1, they had the run blitz with him, and he made some plays there. And then MJ Stewart, I think MJ Stewart's a quality backup as well. So you seem relatively set at safety. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the numbers. And then let's be serious. They finally got rid of that freaking kicker that they had, the whatever the hell that was, the Bates guy, and then Weeks is good and Fairbairn is good as well. So that's your depth chart. doesn't seem like there's a ton of competition right now. And this notion that there is a quarterback competition, again, unless this is the weirdest staff ever, I think that's said as well. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Please, please, please like the video when you leave. It would be very appreciative. I'm not going to get on my knees or anything, but like the video, subscribe, right along. Promise you won't regret it. We're about 11 months in. We're going very strong on this channel, going very strong on the radio. 10 to 2 Central in the Loop, Sports Radio 610. Best resource for Houston sports content and Texans content. No matter what happens when it comes to the Texans, though, whether DeMeco Ryans is weird, whether he's normal, whatever the hell he is, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we are all in this together. Happy joint practice week. Happy game week. Happy football season is almost here week. Thanks for coming through.
What we about to do, localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localize every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, top 2 and we